I wish I could just tell you what your brand messaging should be, but I can't tell you what your brand messaging should be. No one can tell you what it should be because it's unique to you. It stems from your past experiences, your past, what your interests are, what your passions are, and what your goals are. But I followed a proven process and that I was coached through, and I'll share it today. You can follow it too. My brand messaging, aka my take on how I believe online business can help you achieve freedom, is simply my professional story. And that sounds like it's really easy to write, but it did not flow out of me at all. So for my first iteration, I spent 3 or 4 months. I was logging about 24 hours per week, working on this new business. I had this website that I thought looked great. I thought it was professional. I created this email nurture sequence that I thought was compelling. I created this lead magnet that I thought was going to help people. And fortunately, I was convinced to scrap the whole thing before it even launched and start all over. It was a really tough decision just to start completely over from scratch, but I think it was the right move. And really, I owe it all to someone else. To say it was a tough decision to hire my business coach would be an absolute understatement. It was a lot of money, and it was pre-revenue. There's a lot that went into it. I'm not going to go into it here. There's more on that later. I'll fast forward to my first meeting with her. I was showing her my PowerPoint presentation. I was going through, this is what I want my business to look like. How can you help me make it look like this? She took one look at my website and immediately just poo-pooed all over it. And she was right. It wasn't me at all. In fact, I copied the layout, the photography style, the design elements from her website. But we were in totally different positions. She was a well-established business strategist, and I was just getting started. So why did I think it would be a good idea to make myself look like her? And the answer is simple. I wanted to be successful, just like her. And partly I felt hampered because I didn't have great web design skills, so I felt like I could copy from someone else, but I couldn't make something up on my own. But regardless, I thought that my best approach was to find someone that I liked and make myself look like them. It turns out that she was the business coach I was looking for, but she's not the business coach that my ideal client is looking for. My business coach shared a framework with me that changed my trajectory. It's an exercise that helps you really get into the shoes of your ideal client. And I mashed it up with a couple different exercises. It's a combination of customer persona, empathy map, and the customer buying process. In short, there's 3 parts to the customer journey. There's the awareness phase, there's the evaluation phase, and the decision-making phase. For each phase, ask yourself what your target client thinks, says, does, and feels. This is the exercise that led me to realize that there are 3 paths that my ideal client can take as they go along the customer buying journey and end up deciding to hire me. These 3 paths are parallel, they're unique, and it turns out they're exactly the process that I went through to get to where I am. The exercise had me put down these thoughts, and it looks like this random order. But when I shuffled the thoughts around, what materialized was the same process that I had been through. They were a direct reflection of the process that I went through from corporate burnout to lifestyle business mentor. It's kind of funny how it took a great business coach and a well-proven model to show me what I already knew. For this next part to make any sense, I have to give a little bit of background. For 10 years, I was a manufacturing engineer for a global consumer products company. I always knew that it wasn't the best fit, but I did it because it made the most financial sense for me then, and then eventually I had a family, made the best financial sense for having a family. But it wasn't until around years 8 or 9 that I really started to get my eyes on a much bigger prize. I wanted to be able to find work that I enjoyed doing, like legitimately enjoyed going to work to do, and that I could do anywhere, and I wanted some schedule flexibility to take care of, my kids as they were growing up. So that brought me to my first attempt at getting that new lifestyle. It is one of the 3 paths that I guide people down. And I was looking for a remote job. My wife is a software developer. She works 100% remote. She's had that status for a little over a decade, and it has saved our family's sanity on many, many occasions. And that's what I wanted. My first attempt at creating this new lifestyle for myself and my family was to try to find a remote job. I spent 3 months searching on FlexJobs and Glassdoor and the other job search engines. I was sending out cover letters and resumes, and it just wasn't worth it. It was taking up a lot of time, and time is hard to come by when you have young kids and you're a full-time employee. And I was and I eventually just made the decision that this is not worth it for me. In parallel to looking for remote work, I was considering becoming an engineering consultant. I had worked with some consultants in the past, but they all worked for one big engineering firm, and so basically the consultant that I wanted to be did not exist in my workplace. And to make matters worse, even if I were to be able to get started, it just would not offer the schedule and location flexibility that that's what I really wanted. In the end, I just did not have the motivation to keep going down this path. There were multiple indications throughout my life that starting a business was the right path for me. First of all, I know that technically if there's anything that I wanted to get done, I could Google my way through it. I've always been interested in business, and small business and starting and growing businesses. So why did it take me so long to get started? The answers are actually pretty complex and long. So I wrote them out. They're all posted up on my website. The primary reason is that I didn't think I had a good enough idea. I thought you had to have this amazing idea, the clouds part, the sun rays come down, and you take off. It just happens. The second biggest reason was I thought that I didn't have enough money. I write a lot more about that on my website. I would love it if you wanted to go download that and let me know what you think. It's a free download. Now, looking back, it is just foolish that I waited so long. The short answer of how I found my brand message is that I followed a proven process that highlights my own journey. Your brand and its message are a reflection of you, and no one can just tell you what it is and you can slap it up on your website. But there are proven processes to help you find it. If you're still here and you want to know more about how to find your brand message, I don't actually have a ready to share download for you, but if you're interested, comment in it below, and if I get enough comments, I'll write something up. And if you want to know more about what it takes to become a business owner, how to create your own business so that you're doing rewarding work and you get the schedule and location flexibility that you need, I have a free download on my website right now. I'd love for you to go download it and tell me what you think. All right, until next time, see ya.